Hello and welcome to the Blazblue EU Open weekly update. This is the first of many weekly videos that we will be releasing every Tuesday. The aim of the videos is to highlight plays from the Blazblue EU Open, talk about character matchups, but most importantly we'll get to talk about you, the players of the community. With the first week kicking off, we've had a slew of new players come join us in Season 2. One of the new players that now has a high price over his head is Predoc. Predoc managed to win the entire event without even dropping a single match other than in the finals with Jez. He seems to play mainly Ragnar and had no character switches throughout week 1. But he does seem to be a pretty tough player to handle. With his dominant set and without any major upsets from week to week, Predoc will likely be our EU champion. But that said, it is only week 1 and we will have to see what the future weeks brings.
The matches so far have been very heated. There have been a few that have been very close. One that I'd like to talk about is the last fight we saw on stream Saturday night. The final was a very back and forth game. You could see this in the very first engage that the players took. G started the first round with playing rather passive, only going in for hits when it was at the perfect range, but Predoc did his best to close the gap and get past the zone of G's. G's used the ice pass of his kit to hit the Ragnar Predoc when he was at max range to keep Ragnar away from him, making landing follow-up damage really easy. But the reason that Predoc was able to take this back was due to the greediness of G's. Halfway through the match, he pushed Ragnar to the wall, which gave Predoc the space he needed to start laying the combos on G's 144. Once in the wall, Predoc buys his time and finds a place to block the incoming damage of Jin Kazaraki, responding with a few follow-up combos. Predoc closes the match out with a barrier burst, using it as a tool to stop the follow-up damage of G's 144 and push him to the wall, where G's has no more space to move away from Ragnar, and unfortunately this equals the end of G's 144 with no barrier break and perfect combos from Predoc. Predoc takes victory.
With week 1 out of the way, let's look at the current standings. In joint 6th place we have Stripey and Brintendo. In joint 5th place we have Cross Goonie and Kuru Mabaroshi. In 4th place we have Daledron with Bundir in 3rd. In 2nd place we have G's 144, but leading the pack in 1st place we have Predoc.
Next week, we are on track to have an even bigger turnout. We are also looking into adding a donation section of our Twitch to help fund the prize pool of the Blazblue EU Open. All donations received will go directly into the Blazblue prize pool, increasing what the fighters fought for and increasing the amount of people getting cash prizes at the end of the season.
With that said, we're going to end this episode with the top 5 moments of last week.
At number 5, we have Brentendo 11 getting the astral finish now at host Nimanix.
I just love like that's going to why you why you that's going too far. Unholy wrath of the bastards.
That's the Astral, or is that the Overdrive? I think that was the Astral. It looks like an Astral. That's definitely the Astral. Brintendo getting the Astral. Fair play. Going into Moving on to number 4, we have a close fight between Bundir and Kuru Mabaroshi. Few hits there, Tager against the wall. Bundir trying to find his way through, does land the grab on the squirrel hits the floor and goes into the air again. The grappler of this Tager is incredible. Makotoa onto the other side of the stage because of the gravity well, but is applying pressure where it needs to be. Bondia using the gravity well, bringing him forward, landing the grab. And the counter does come out of the Makotoa. Kuru got Bondia against the wall. This is starting to look incredibly close, but Bondia's only really got to land one grab. Barrier burst is available for both players as Bondia is in the air. The distortion drive does connect with Bondia, and this is going to do a shit ton of damage. Bondia is not in a good position here, and he will have to barrier burst. He takes him to the sky, and that is going to be an overdrive finish. These fighters look absolutely
At number
rapid.
3, we have Cross Goonie dominating Nintendo on Bullet.
Like I said in previous matches, Bullet looks to have taken the Makotoa approach in the sense that you take your opponent to the air and then bring them back down to set up your combos. Kurumi obviously in the vein of Hazama. Nintendo landing the first hit of the Rebel, but definitely not in a good position as Bullet goes to repeat the process. Does drop the combo there though. The air brings him back down and finishes convincingly to take the first
You disappoint me.
round. Bondia's last chance. Number 2 brings the first perfect of the season with Bondia getting punished by Jez. 1-4-4. If Jez truly wins this, then maybe Jez can compete against Preldok. Bondia using the barrier burst there. That shard still does land. And this is not good for Bondia. He's in a really tough position. Yukimi actually landing with the cross up. Nice distortion finish. Here we go now, fighting
And
for
lastly,
the point
our
position.
number 1 rebel this week goes to Stripey on the 1 HP
Stripey
distortion
landing the
finish
first
of Jazz
chunk of damage.
144.
Jinkazaragi landing the ice, but there is the barrier burst out of Celica. Celica going to the air and trying to get an air strike down. He does back away, trying to get out of the grunt of the damage of Jinkazaragi, but Jinkazaragi finding an opportunity in a spot to go at this Celica quite grimly. He is against the wall now, and Celica is punishing it really hard, doing a lot of damage. Jinkazaragi has a barrier burst and just needs to use it. There was a dropped combo there. At the 30 point, he is backing away again, looking to find another point of entry for this aggression he plans to play. Jinkazaragi is taken into the air. He has no barrier burst, and that will be a distortion finish. On the other side, I got it incorrect. One hit and he would have died. That is incredible. We're looking forward to next week's play, and hopefully a lot more of you will sign up. See you guys next week.
Next week.